800 subscribers on YouTube, and to celebrate, I let my fans create an OC for me by voting in polls on YouTube. I plan to just make this a simple video where I design an OC and nothing else. However, I got really into the project and something big ended up happening. These are the silly first sketches I did of him. I did this one to kind of get an idea of what I wanted his hair to look like, which you'll see later. It was based on a poll, and I did this. I don't know why. It looks so funny. But anyways, this is a sketch that I'm going to trace over digitally. By the way, this OC is actually going to be the boyfriend to my character, Faye, because Faye was made when I hit 100 subscribers. My fans created her as well. So I thought it'd be super cute to have a boyfriend and girlfriend that were both designed by my subscribers. Okay, so now I am tracing over the sketch so I can have it in digital form. As you can see, things are going very smoothly, nothing much to say right now. He's going to be holding a bouquet of flowers behind his back, so that's why I kind of drew that little triangle shape, and you can see in the sketch there's a bunch of flowers. But I'm not going to trace those over until quite a while. I had a little bit of trouble making his eyes look good because in the original sketch I think I made them a bit too big, but it turned out okay in the end. Now, of course, this OC was not designed by me alone. It was you guys that helped me create this character. So let me talk a little bit about the poll and the things that you guys decided for it. So I'm not going to talk about every poll in order because that won't really make much sense for what I'm drawing. I'm just going to talk about everything in the order that I'm drawing it. So the first thing that you can see here is that he has curly hair. The closest thing in the poll for a while was long hair, and I was very concerned because I did not really know how I would design a boy OC with long hair. I've never done that before, and the only thing I could think of is like those really long haired guys from those Chinese dramas, and they have those guys with really long hair. Honestly, if I had actually gotten long hair as the result, I probably would have just put it in a bun or something. But I was happy to get curly hair because I thought I could make that look really cute, and I actually don't have any OCs with curly hair, so I knew this would be fun. So for this Create My OC challenge, I also let my fans just give me a bunch of suggestions that weren't related to the polls, and my sister suggested that he has some type of jewelry, so that's why I gave him earrings. I do think they look very cute though, and I'm really glad I decided to add them. I was having a bit of trouble with his mouth here, so I tried to redraw it. Also, if you noticed, I did a different thing with his nose. Usually I draw noses with just literally one line, but this time I decided to just draw the nostrils. I'm not really sure why, but I do like how it looks. I feel like it sounds really weird when I describe it like that, but that's pretty normal in anime to just literally draw one line for a nose, but I don't know, it just sounds funny. Before even starting on this design, the very first thing that I knew about this character, besides the fact of course that he was Faye's boyfriend, is that he was gonna have blue hair because my friend Lydia suggested that, and I knew I had to do it. After all, blue hair is super adorable, but then somebody else actually suggested that I make his hair split colors, so 2 different colors instead of just one, and I didn't really know which color to make. They suggested pink, and I did try that, but I wasn't really sure about how it looked, so I decided to just kind of leave it and just focus on that extra color later. But right now I am also coloring the rest of the drawing, and I think I should talk a little bit more about the polls and the results now. So the very first poll that I made was for his skin tone, and you guys decided on the deeper skin tone, so that's what I'm doing here. Also, I made a poll about his eye color, and you guys picked purple, so of course, that's what he's gonna have. Right now it looks like a light show with all the colors changing on his outfit. It's kind of funny. As you can probably see, I was struggling so much with the colors for his outfit. I didn't really know what to do, and I was kind of in a bit of a slump. The only thing I did know that I wanted to do is I wanted to make his earrings 2 different colors, and they would be the colors of the opposite side of his hair. Right now I was leaving it as white, and I was thinking of keeping that because I really liked how it looked. Also, I don't know why I stayed on this color combo for his outfit so long. It looks pretty bad. I switched to like this blue color, but it just looks too similar to his hair, and I don't think it has much interest whatsoever. I switched to shading the eyes right here because I just could not decide on his outfit colors. I feel like the main reason I was having trouble is that for some reason he was reminding me a lot of my OC Kosuke. I guess that's mainly because of his personality, which was also decided in a poll, and you guys decided that you wanted him to be shy and caring. And to be honest, him and Kosuke really don't have anything in common at all besides both being shy and very sweet characters, but for some reason as I was designing him, I couldn't stop thinking about Kosuke, and I was trying to make him look different from Kosuke, not just the same, but I was struggling. I thought of making his shirt just a plain white color and then adding these little green specks around it to give it more interest, kind of like a gradient or something. I don't really know why I thought of it, but I liked how it looked, so I decided to go with it. After I finally had something in place for his outfit colors, I was able to move on to some more shading on the picture overall and just make things look a little bit better. I enjoyed adding the shading to his skin, especially to his nose, since it looks different from how I normally draw noses. It was just very interesting to me drawing it. I had a lot of fun. I don't really have much else to say for this part. I'm kind of just, shading and adding more detail. I also added blush, and I just wanted him to look very cute, adorable, and kind of shy. I was also adding light shading to everything and, just putting everything all together better. I kind of just realized this, but I ended up drawing him only like the top up. I didn't draw any of like his pants, his shoes, so I didn't design those yet, but I will design them at some point and I will show you guys what they look like when I do make them. I feel like to the pants or the shoes, I would add a little bit of like purple because he only has purple right now in his eyes and I like to include it in more of his design. Also, at this point, I ended up deciding while I was shading the hair that I actually really do like the way that the white looks with his hair. I think it matches, even though there's not that many colors going on. There's mostly just white, blue, purple, and orange. But sometimes simplicity is better than overcomplicating things. So now I think I should talk about the very final poll and what the result of it was. So I asked you guys what his profession should be, and you guys picked gardener. So he's gonna be a gardener, of course. I was excited about that because I thought it would fit his character so well. And now I'm gonna talk about all the things that you guys suggested that were not included in the polls, but I decided to include for his character. So of course I couldn't do everything that you guys suggested, even though your suggestions were all amazing. So one of the first things that I ended up including was he has long talks about gardening and just starts rambling, but then at the end he realizes he's been talking for ages and gets super embarrassed and flustered about it. This was suggested by Rainbow Noodles and it was just so perfect for him, I had to include it. Now suggested by Sasha Art was that she wanted me to give him a pet art. Not a pet art, what? I mean a pet ferret or a deer, and I think that's gonna be so adorable. I'll probably go with a deer, and I'm not gonna include it in this drawing, but I will design it sometime. And I'll probably make a short or something of the process of designing it, so make sure to stay tuned. And then this person gave me some other ideas for the character, and I was literally so in love with these ideas. So let's start listing some of them out that I decided to include. So the one is that he has a hobby of playing music. I love this one because I actually wanted to include it in the poll about his different jobs he could have, but I forgot. So this was perfect. I think he'll probably play a violin or a flute. I haven't decided which one yet. You guys can tell me which one you think is best in the comments. And then they also suggested that maybe like him and Faye do a couple things every day, like watch the sunset or the sunrise, or take long walks together. And I thought this was so cute and would be perfect for his character. And then she suggested something that actually inspired something way bigger. So thank you so much for all your suggestions because everybody helped me a lot, and this one gave me an idea to make a kind of complicated project, but I'm so happy I did it. And so the suggestion that I'm talking about was, she said that he should wear something emotionally significant to him. And that made me think, maybe he could have like a ribbon on his outfit that like Faye tied to the first flowers she ever gave him. And then I had the idea, I couldn't just leave it at this one drawing. I needed to do something else. So I had so many ideas swirling around in my mind for their story. I was so excited, but the only thing is I had no clue how to show it all in just one video. But then I came up with this idea. I could make a comic for the two of them. So I already finished the first page, and now I'm gonna go move on to working more on the second page, and then after that, the rest of the comic. Unsurprisingly, making this comic was not one bit easy. However, I enjoyed the process a lot. Even though it took a ton of time, being able to make a comic with my OCs interacting together was just so fun. By the way, as you can see here, I decided to name him Avery because that was suggested by my sister. And if you look closely, you'll be able to see that Annette, Marilyn, and Willow, as well as Faye and Avery, are included in this comic, and it was just crazy getting to make them interact because I've honestly never really done anything with my fairy tale story OCs, and it was just so exciting getting to do this. So I have all sorts of fancy pencils and erasers I could use. However, for this project, I've been really preferring to just use these ones, this super cheap, simple pencil, and this pink eraser, not even a regular white one that's fancier. I know they're not what you call the best, but it just feels the most natural to use them, and I just much prefer it for this. And after many hours, I finally finished this comic. You guys are going to be able to see the final result at the end of the video after you finish watching me design him. Okay, so now that I'm done with that, I can finally finish up this picture. So as you can see, he has flowers behind his back, and it's supposed to be the original flowers that he gave Faye, like the same type of flowers he's giving her now on their anniversary. Also, now that I made his ribbon like the one from the flowers that Faye originally gave him, I'm gonna make the ribbon on Faye's outfit supposed to be the same one that he gave her when he gave her these flowers. But now I am just finishing up the drawing. I want to reiterate, thank you guys so much for 800 subscribers. It is so crazy how much I've grown, and honestly, YouTube is just such a happy thing for me. I'm so glad that I could share my journey with you guys, and you guys are here for me. Thank you so much. Here is the final design of Avery. I think he looks super cute, and now you can see the comic, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm honestly so happy with how the comic turned out. I think it is absolutely adorable. If you guys enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much, and bye for now!